I'm honored to present the award to our 2021 Officer of the Year recipient. The Metropolitan Police Department has thousands of officers who make us proud every day, but this officer has been selected for his noteworthy achievements throughout 2021. As a 15-year member at the 2nd District, this officer's dedication is unmatched. Throughout his tenure on the force, he has been a beacon of positive energy to his peers and unrelenting in his efforts to stop crime. In 2021 alone, this individual played a pivotal role in 2 assaults with a deadly weapon, gun closures, in nightlife areas in 2D. In both of those cases, the suspect was arrested and the suspect firearm recovered in real time. While patrolling another area in his district, he observed a suspect maneuvering and handling a firearm. Believing that the suspect was trying to provoke or intimidate someone, this officer quickly organized a real-time effort to stop the suspect and was able to retrieve a gun with an extended magazine and detained one of the suspects in both a calm and respectful manner. The main suspect was ultimately apprehended a few blocks away and later pled guilty to CPWL. These are only a few of his many accomplishments, and MPD's fortunate to have such a dedicated and talented officer in its ranks. Now, let's direct our attention to the screen to learn more about this year's award recipient.
My name is Officer Nathan Clark, and I am currently assigned to the 2nd District CST team. What made me want to be a member of the Metropolitan Police Department, I had an uncle who was a state trooper in Tennessee that I grew up with, very close to him, and the ties that I had to the city, being born here, made me want to return home and become a police officer in Washington, D.C. I was nominated for the Officer of the Year, I believe due to several operations that we ran successfully in the 2nd District. It's known that a lot of vehicles are being used with fictitious tags and or stolen vehicles. We were able to apprehend 8 subjects and also take 8 guns off the street in a series of theft from autos. So one of the things that I've looked at is, again, looking at the data, what times do these crimes occur? What can we do to kind of mitigate these and apprehend the subjects responsible for that? And that's what we did.
Every single suspect was arrested, and Officer Clark was the key investigating officer in that case. He was in an unmarked police vehicle. He was able to develop all the information where he saw a total of 8 suspects involved in a planned operation where they were breaking into cars and stealing items. He rallied his team around into the area. They stopped all 8 suspects and they got 8 firearms. It was a fantastic case. In fact, I would say it's probably the single best case I've seen by patrol officers in my time here with MPD.
Well, I've had the opportunity to go to several other districts, and what makes this 2nd District significant, and I love it to death, is one, the leadership. It starts at the top. I see a leader in Commander Bedleon that is genuinely concerned about community needs. It's inspiring for a leader to be like that. And so, I see what he does, and I've always been a worker anyway throughout the years, but it just kind of raised me up a level, like to do, not only do 100% of my job, but go 110%, 120%. Others within the CST team, have seen my efforts. They appreciate my efforts. So does, honestly, the entire 2nd District. And I hope that not only I will continue my success, but bring change, positive change, to the community I proudly serve.
Officer Clark winning Officer of the Year this year has been a highlight. It's brought some recognition to the hard work and the dedication he's put in over his entire career. It's well deserved, and it's great to see him finally get some of the recognition that he's been deserving for a long time.
I have no doubt that he's going to continue to perform at a high level. And I can tell you, as a father raising kids in the city, I sleep well at night knowing Officer Clark is out there late at night patrolling our areas and doing everything he can to keep the citizens of Washington, D.C. safe.
Officer Nathan Clark, the Metropolitan Police Department's Officer of the Year for 2021. That is an awesome honor. You're an officer leading and spearheading large-scale drug operations in the 2nd District. You're an officer that focuses on getting illegal guns off the street. You are an officer that comes to work every day and you do what we ask you to do, prevent crime in our nation's capital. You are deserving of this award. We appreciate your work, we appreciate you, and we want to say thank you for all the hard work that you do day in and day out on behalf of the residents of the District of Columbia. Thank you.
I'm humbled, sincerely humbled to be Officer of the Year. I want to thank Commander Bedleon, I want to thank Chief Conti, Chief Benedict, Chief Kane, Chief Emmerman, and also thank all members of the 2nd District too as well. And also the station personnel who is constantly interacting with me as I close cases on a daily basis. I appreciate you. Thank you all again, and God bless you.
At this time, please join me in congratulating and welcoming to the stage the Metropolitan Police Department's 2021 Officer of the Year, Officer Nathan Clark. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce a staunch supporter of the Metropolitan Police Department, our mayor, the Honorable Muriel Bowser.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, MPD. I want to thank all of the members of the Metropolitan Police Department, professional and sworn members. I want to acknowledge Chief Robert Conti and the entire executive and command staff, our DC government employees, federal law enforcement partners, and all of you, family and friends and residents of Washington, D.C. I too want to add my thanks and appreciation to all of tonight's awardees. I know that choosing among our officers is a difficult task. I got to walk in to hear about our Officer of the Year, and I couldn't be more proud. I'm sure you can imagine that I get asked about our police department all the time, on neighborhoods across all 8 wards, as well as around the country. I get to describe a department that represents and reflects our entire community. I talk about how our police department is out in the community 24/7, building relationships with residents and businesses, going into our schools, working with our school administrators, but also assisting with national responses and First Amendment activities that are unique to Washington, D.C. I get to describe a police department that started making reforms 20 years ago, that takes cultural competency seriously, and was the first big city to equip all of our officers with body-worn cameras. So I can describe a department that is focused on making more DC residents a part of the DC Police Department through our outstanding MPD Cadet Corps program. And to talk about how our department is led by a graduate of the MPD Cadet program, because Chief Conti joined as a cadet at the age of 17, and now he's the leader of our department. But I can also describe fantastic women in policing and our commitment to be 30% female by the year 2030. And we are committed to ensuring that more women in DC residents serve. We are very excited that Pamela Smith has joined MPD. Give her a big round of applause as MPD's new Chief Equity Officer. So all that's to say, we have an amazing department. I talk about it often. I fight for it often to make sure that we have all that we need to protect and serve our community, but also support our officers. We know that we have a lot of work to do, and you should know that your presence in the community is the difference between community members feeling safe or unsafe. And I know that that's a heavy responsibility, but I know it's one that you rise to the occasion for every single day. So I wanted to be here on behalf of all 700,000 of us in Washington, D.C. to say thank you. We appreciate you. You are essential, you are valued, and we are grateful for your service. So to everyone that has received an award today, keep up the fantastic work and know that I'm there down at City Hall fighting for every single thing you need. God bless you all.